The boy Dub Deuce in the building.
All right, what up, what up, what up? It is that guy Dub, and I am back with another video. How you guys doing at the end of the day? Shout it, I'm good money. Now today, we've got a special guest in the building. How are you doing, ma'am? Miss Toya, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay. He's like, can you hear the truck in the background?
No, I can't.
Awesome. See, it's like, just let anybody know if you're trying to start a platform, there's no excuses. I'm in my semi right now, and it's running, and she can't hear, so we're good. Okay.
Right.
Now, I brought you here for a special episode of There's Definitely Pee in the Dating Pool. And you said, and you mentioned to me that you're in politics. You said, so first off, I'm gonna ask you, how do you navigate life using in politics?
I I really am an advocate using politics to further my goal. So I navigate it very well just because I am not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm a libertarian, so I always have spoke my own language. I
Mhm.
have a very tough skin, and so that's what it is.
Okay. So like when you're dating somebody, you like, do your politics need to match up?
No, um,
Okay.
with the party that I'm involved in, really, it's like it runs the gamut of every ideology that you could ever think of, and the premise of it is really simple: live your life as you see fit. Don't hurt others or take their shit. Oop, can I say that? Sorry. Beep.
Talk your shit. Hey, we're raw and uncut over here. Talk your shit.
Okay. And so that is how I view my prospects or prospective people that come into my life. Um, I'm gonna allow you to be you because when you meet me, you meet me. What attributes you get determine on how you treat me. So,
Mhm.
um, that's how that really kind of works. And you might be.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You go ahead and finish your thought.
I was just gonna say, so I've dated across the spectrum of Republicans, Democrats, libertarians, independents. I mean, it really is about the person themselves. So,
Okay, now you said like because when I think politics, you think about suits and dress ups and all kind of stuff like that. And I'm sitting here thinking about you cannot show up to a black tie event and somebody that's wearing skinny jeans with you say and a tight shirt. You say this was like so. Is it a level? Do they somebody you date have to have a level of decorum?
I mean, they have to know when to dress appropriately,
Mm,
and a lot of the times as I'm dating, I don't bring my dates into my political world
mm,
unless that's something that they're into. I
mm.
am very upfront about it. I don't need someone to accompany me. I am very single. Um, and if I do want to bring a date, I'm gonna tell them what I'm expecting for them to be wearing.
Okay. Now you said letting people be people. You said it was like so. Being in politics, does it make you at least a little more picky, especially going for office, and especially because everything is so scrutinized and they're going back on your social media and all that kind of stuff?
Um, I'm picky anyway. I was
Mhm.
married to my husband for 20 years until he died last year.
Oh, I'm sorry
So,
to hear that.
thank you. And so I'm picky anyway because I'm used to a certain type of treatment. I'm used to a certain type of man. Um, and so I do value certain attributes of men, like discreetness, if that's what I'm looking at. Um,
Hmm.
but pretty much, mm, like I said, I choose who I want to choose, and
Hmm.
they know what's up.
Okay. Okay. Now, so what's some of the things that have led you to believe there's pee in the dating pool?
There's always pee in the dating pool. It's really what people use to try to clean it, so to speak. And
Right.
that's why I'm me. It's not the pee that's harmful, it's the stuff that you use to cover it up that's harmful, if we want
Mm.
to go there.
Okay,
And
that's
that's,
fair.
you know what I'm saying? So instead of people being real and honest about who they are, good, bad, and ugly, you meet people's representatives.
Hmm.
And for me, you don't meet my representative. You meet me as is, whether it's
Mm.
politics, whether it is dating, whether it's parenting, whatever it is, you meet me as that.
Hmm.
And so, you know, I just think you have to have a good idea of what kind of cleaner you're getting into. Is
Okay.
he what is he hiding, or what is she hiding? Um, and is it something that you are willing to deal with?
Okay. Now, I say this just about every episode. As a man, I'm going to apologize to you. And the reason I'm going to apologize to you because
Okay.
I've tried to be all inclusive in this platforms. I've had trans people on my show. I've tried to have a few gay men on my show. I've had lesbians on my show, and they somewhere in the point where I asked them would they be interested, and them sending them my link to use it to DM me so we can set it up. I've gotten more unsolicited dick pics than I care to have. So I just want to apologize as a man to you.
I get a lot of those.
You I'm like, hey yo. You said, but yeah.
I
And
get a lot of those. Every
so
race, every nationality. I be amused. Really, I be amused if that's okay. But yeah,
I don't understand it because you said, like I said, when I came to you, I was very upfront about what I was doing, why I was here.
right.
What you said, what, and I say the same thing. I got a spiel, the same thing. What
Okay.
in what I said would correlate you sending a dick pic? I don't get it.
Some people lead with what they believe is their best asset. Maybe that's the only thing that they really have to offer, or so-called bring to the table. And you know what? Somewhere that dick pic for somebody did it for them. And I'm okay with that for them, but that's not for
Mm.
me. Don't
Well, I
don't
mean,
send me no dick pic unless I ask for it.
don't send me none at all. I'm not gonna ask for it. You can forget all that.
Right.
Partner,
Not
you got the
one.
wrong equipment. Not one. You will be
Now,
blocked
another dick better not appear in your inbox.
for real. You know what I'm saying? But
Facts.
use it like it's. I like talking to people with bubbly personalities because it makes the interview a lot easier. Because if you're dry, then I get lost. And
Right, right.
I think it's just a me thing because like I try to match the energy of my guests. And so if you're
Okay.
dry and I'm sitting there, it's like because I can carry on a conversation, but it's kind of hard if you, it's almost like I understand. It makes me understand when women say they don't like men that text back one word answers.
Facts.
You said, and it's funny. And another thing with this platform, I've been able to help a few people. You said I had a young lady on it was about a month ago, and she after we wrapped and I posted the video, she hit me up a little bit later, and
Right, I'm
she
adjusting
was,
myself, y'all.
hey, do you? But she hit me up a little bit later and said she was dating this guy, and you said he wanted to be serious. She didn't know if he wanted to be serious and stuff like that. And I was like, well, what are you doing? She was like, well, when he starts talking, you said I interrupt him so I can start talking. I was like, well, let's try this. If you want something with this gentleman and you don't want to let him finish, you said his thought. Like, how about you listen to understand instead of listen to respond? And they damn near about to get married because you should be telling her to listen to understand instead of listening to respond. That you said that helped her so much. So that you said, I definitely like the fact that I feel like I'm doing something positive with this platform. Now,
Okay.
with you being in politics, what is something positive you're trying to do with your platform?
I think that I want to empower the people of my state. and provide an example of what true um, statehood looks like, and what letting citizens decide for themselves what that looks like, and bringing the power back to the citizen and the individual. I really want people to understand that the Constitution are the guidelines for the government's involvement with you, and not the other way around. And that in time of crisis is when the Constitution should shine bold. My state's motto is, our rights we prize, and our liberties will maintain, or something. Our rights we will maintain, and our liberties we prize. My bad.
Yeah,
But
do your
uh,
thing.
and so really, who is doing that? We are criminalizing everyday normal things. We have people going to jail for trying to heal themselves. We have people, unemployable. We have the
Hmm.
homeless being thrown out the parks, but everybody pays taxes. So why aren't they able to use their tax dollars as they see fit? Uh, and so I would really love to see us getting back to some things that just should be common sense.
Okay. He said, now with that being said, I usually try to stay away from politics, but when you mentioned it, I was not even really going to talk about politics like that. But I kind of like your attitude, and so we're gonna skim the surface a little bit.
Okay,
Now, me personally, I'm an independent.
right.
Now, you said like now, right now we're still sitting with about you said 500,000 homeless people in America,
Hmm.
but we just sent $8 billion over to Ukraine,
For what?
and right. I,
For
I don't know
what?
nobody in Ukraine. I don't know nobody in
When
Ukraine.
did my freedom get in Ukraine? When did my rights get in Ukraine?
Uh-huh.
And so I'm not running for a federal office. I'm
Hmm.
running for a state office. And I implore you, any viewer that you have out there, even if you are not willing to vote for your president, you better vote in those local state races, the local house races, your
Hmm.
city council, because that is what affects your life every day. See, people don't understand the states are still sovereign
Hmm.
in their dealings. And so, really, the state that you live in will dictate a lot. But why are we sending things over to Ukraine when people need things here? I shouldn't be paying no $8 for some butter or some eggs or some essential items that people absolutely need. That's absolutely wild.
Hmm. Just like okay, I grew up. I was born in Compton, California.
Okay.
I grew up in Georgia, and most of my family comes from the Asheville, North Carolina area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still looking for some of my family members right now,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. And so, on the federal level, I think it's a huge disservice and a slap in the face for them to offer my family members in Asheville, North Carolina, $750 fucking dollars. But like once again, you sent $8 billion over to Ukraine, and these illegal immigrants are getting thousands of dollars a month in assistance, but you offering Americans $750. Now, how would one that wants to affect change in our local level to where, like, let's say we have a sanctuary city to where we can,
Mm-hmm.
you said, elect candidates that give more for the Americans than these illegal immigrants that are coming in?
Okay. So you're asking, how do we do that?
Hmm.
Well, I really think that we should be revamping our immigration system.
Hmm.
Um, I think that also there should be a form of reparations to both Native Americans as well as African Americans, or indigenous African Americans, or Native African Americans, those who were here before Columbus. And I think that we have good examples in different cities and states like
Hmm.
Chicago and California who are addressing those things. As far
Hmm.
as people being illegal, well, it's kind of like this is actually God's land. And so when did the government actually buy it from God?
Mm,
And if God left everybody as stewards, then the thing is to steward the land. And if you are being productive in this particular country, I think that there should be, like I said, a different system for that. Every, maybe 2 years, 5 years, you are checking in. Each
mm,
state can determine how many immigrants that they are willing to take on in their state, because obviously there are jobs that are available in bulk that a lot of people won't do. And so really is, and then on the flip side, it's also providing the resources needed for our children to be educationally, financially, emotionally, and mental health sound in our schools as they come in. And so I
mm.
think that really when we're talking about this, it's a revamp of how we see government and how we spend our dollars.
Okay, you said and I'm gonna hit you with a kind of trivial question because it's out there on the mainstream, so I'm just gonna ask it.
Okay.
I use it like my dispatcher is a white guy. You said that they hired me. You said if, as my
Okay.
company I'm a company driver,
Okay.
and I got a weird sense of humor, so I called him up because like I'm like right now I'm the only black driver they have. So I
Mhm.
called him. I was like Ben, let me ask you a question. Am I a DEI hire? And he just laughed. You said from a good healthy place, and so did I.
Right.
But you say because I think all that shit is fucking ridiculous. But you have people on the mainstream that are pushing this goofy shit, which I you say because like I don't know. You say like 'cause personally I don't know Kamala Harris's actual nationality. Usually they say she's black, but then I hear she's not. I don't give a shit. I don't care. That's that lady business.
That
Use it. Use it at the end of the day. I've had people reach out to me and be like, Dub, yo, I'm trying to tell you, Michelle Obama's a man. He was like, dude, look it up on the internet. I'd be like, bruh,
but
I
who
see a
said
lot of shit. I was like, bruh, I look up a lot of shit on the internet. Dick is not one of them.
okay.
So like that's Barack problem. If that is what it is. He's like, y'all so worried about everybody else's shit and you so followed in the crowd, but because I don't necessarily agree with Donald Trump, I'm now a sheep, but you said those people that storm the Capitol are the free thinkers. Knock it the fuck off. Period.
So I don't subscribe to Trump or Kamala. Kamala. Sorry, ma'am. I don't mean to be anyway. Um it's like this. I think both of those candidates are pretty much trash. But they each do have their redeeming points, of
Mm,
which my party definitely capitalizes on those. And so I think that they're both wrong. I think that each party has had the opportunity because they've had trifectas to actually make actual change, and
mm,
that they are pandering to the emotional parts of people. I
mm,
don't do that. That's not how I get down. I don't care if Kamala is black, Asian, or whatever. I mean, she was supposedly called the first um, Asian or Asian or Indian lady that was
mm,
in the Senate or House or whatever she was in. My bad.
mm,
Um, but and then now she's saying she's black. Well, okay, she can claim both of her heritages, but ma'am, what does your work look like? What
mm,
does your work look like for the so-called black people that you identify with?
mm,
And then as far as Trump is concerned, um, I think he's an equal opportunity offender. I think that he says racist things. And for real, I just really do. But here's my policy on that. It's more like I would rather know who I'm dealing with up front,
mm,
than who's snickering and planning behind my back.
mm,
Um, and so, when I look at some of the things that I've read in both of there, I'm disappointed.
mm,
But like I said, um, I'm not either. I think that both of the legacy parties have some very good ideas and ideas that should have been and could have been implemented, um, because of their power that they had. However, um, I think that their personalities and some of their personal politics are garbage. and
Okay.
I'm not afraid to say
Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now we're done with politics. I don't talk about
it.
politics no more. Fuck that. We're talking about dating. Okay. Now, what are some of the things you look for in a guy?
Is he attracted to me? Generally, how it works for me, and they might call, I don't know. I think I'm a fairly attractive woman. Um, and so, is he attracted to me? And then I kind of want to
Hold
know,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
go ahead.
From the That Guy Dub show, we gonna tell you, you grade A certified. You're very attractive, ma'am.
Oh,
Go
thank
ahead.
you.
Mhm.
So, I really have the gamut that comes at me, whether from 25 to 85. I mean, I really, and not to be like funny or anything, but I could have any kind of man that I could choose
Mhm.
because I get that at me every day. You know, I linked with you on Facebook dating. I use Facebook dating. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But guess what? I've been on the market in 20 years. So maybe I'm starting with something simple. But but it's just out there. And so as far as looking for what a man is, really, it's if he likes me, one, two, do I like what he looks like? Do I like, then it's, I'm gonna talk to you and
Mhm.
see if I like how you talking to me. I read
Mhm.
profiles a lot of times. And if
Most
I
people
hit,
don't.
I do,
Mhm.
because I want to see what you want. And some days I'm just it. I got time. I get approached by men, I get approached by women, I get approached by couples, and I'm like, I don't do that, I don't do that. But hey, thank you anyway. I'm flattered.
Mhm.
However, as for men, I can choose any man that's gonna approach me,
Mhm.
and it's from the janitor to a lawyer to a doctor, um, and 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 I've said no to both.
Mhm.
Anyone that I've chosen to actually deal with. Why did I choose them? We met for coffee. I liked how you talked to me. You were a gentleman. Um, you it was you said, and you stood on what you said. And some men are able to keep that up because, like I said in the beginning, you meet someone's representative, but
Mhm.
baby, you don't meet my representative. You meet me as I am because I'm already complete. I'm
Mhm.
already whole. And in many of the cases, I'm meeting men who are trying to get to where I've already been.
Okay. Okay. You said like, well, of course, this is always cliche, but we have to ask it because we're talking about dating. What are some of your red flags? No.
Baby, I'm the red flag. What? What? You like me, baby? Oh, I'm a whole red flag, and I'm okay with it. No. What are my red flags? I have some red flags. It's crazy. I haven't really been on the dating market, so I'm I'm getting flags on the play all the time. I dated this guy. Come to find out, he's married, and they're living separate. He's telling me
Mm.
that she's a baby mama, and I'm like, oh, look, baby, I'm fine enough to be care of my own man. I don't need to be nobody's forced side chick.
Mhm.
Okay, no, you go do
Mhm.
that. Okay. I ain't trying to step on no other woman's toes, none of that kind of thing. So, but for me, I need to talk with you, see you, meet you, and see what the vibe is really like if I'm going to really interact with you. Yeah, I'll chat with you in the inbox.
Mhm.
Now, and it might take 3 months for us chatting in the inbox. I might, if I move you from my Facebook dating profile over to my messenger, you've moved over to I might want to see you.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
you said like what you saying. One thing that I would say personally would be a red flag, and just the shit makes my ass itch. You're on your fucking phone and we're at dinner.
Oh, you be mad at me.
Usually, like no, usually like we need like real talk. We need to take some time where like I guess you would be different because you're in politics. You kind of have to have your phone. So
I do.
and be because me, I'm a social media kind of
You
have
have
to
to
have my
have the
phone.
phone.
But there's still you said there still needs to be a balance to where it's okay. This is our time. You know what I'm saying? I think so many people are so wrapped up in social media now. If social media is your business, then cool.
Right.
But if you're just on there scrolling, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and you're just scrolling Instagram.
That means that you, sir, need to up your conversation game. See,
Mm,
here's the thing. When we get involved with people, if they're not doing what you want them to do, then that means you need to look at yourself. If I'm on my phone
mm,
and we're on a date and I'm not taking a picture of the food and us together and then I'm on my phone, then you're
mm,
not engaging me. And so and if you want my engagement, then if we're actually on a date, then we should
mm,
have been done talked about what I liked, what you liked before we
mm,
even ventured onto a date.
mm,
Okay. And so I've been on plenty of dates, and I generally keep my phone on do not disturb. If
mm.
I got my phone out, I'm calling my girls like, this motherfucker is weird. Come save me. Okay.
Oh man, it's like I think it's like what I was trying to get at is just people that are inconsiderate in general. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? It's like,
but if you feel like that person is being inconsiderate, you need to one speak on it to the person that you're with, and
mm,
not get mad at them. And they may not even know that they're doing that. They may
mm,
not even know that they're doing what they're doing is offending
mm,
you. So I think
mm,
clarity has to be there first before we get ourselves in a tizzy because somebody is doing something that we find um, uh, offensive or maybe neglective. Maybe they
mm.
don't know that they're actually doing it. So I always say have some clarity in what you're doing now. So if you said something uh, and they still on that, oh, I'll leave. Baby, I drive myself to dates. I will leave. Mm-mm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You said it's just like okay. Now, how do you feel about these pop the balloon shows? Because some of those are hilarious.
Oh my gosh. You got to be really, really in tune with your star player to go on those. And I think that a lot of people also you're going to have tough skin
Mm,
because people have preferences. And a lot of
mm,
times you may not actually be their preference, but that's what you came here is to be a choice, to
mm,
be an option. And just because that person popped the balloon doesn't mean everybody will. You know, you can be the right person, but with the wrong person. And
facts.
so if they're popping their balloon on you, baby, they saved you some heartache and some bullshit. So be glad that they popped the balloon because it was probably something superficial. They didn't take the time to know you anyway.
Okay, and it's like me personally, I'm not finna tongue wrestle with nobody. I don't do it. I'm not bumping my guns with
No,
nobody. So
we
like
not to with nobody.
nah, nah. Now see if I were to go on that show, you see just like let's bring up the plumber guy. Who
Okay.
I was actually going to try to have on my show until I found out he was a scammer. I decided to leave him alone. He he did a whole scam with GoFundMe saying he was trying to you said raise money so he could continue to do free plumbing jobs for single mothers, veterans, and stuff like that. Kind of find out he went on Pop the Balloon to scam and do a GoFundMe.
Oh,
Yes, I
I didn't see
you said
that.
you taking it. You said the dude that went viral a few months ago. They said one of the ladies said he looked like a Ninja Turtle, and he
Oh
was a
Lord.
plumber.
Oh
Yeah,
Lord. Put the link in the
matter.
comments.
I definitely will. But it was like he had to go back and forth with each woman. You saying like to me that was it came off as a little sassy. I mean, I'm like, hey, do
Here's
your
the
thing, but
thing. I'm sorry.
like,
If I'm on this show and you popped your balloon, I don't
Mm,
give a fuck. I don't care. I don't want to talk to you because I don't want to know why. I don't give a fuck that you popped your balloon because there's some niggas, some men over here, some dudes over here that didn't. And I'm going to go holler at the ones that didn't.
mm,
And I think that if a lot of people would get out their feelings when someone rejects them,
mm,
like in the first like month or so, it's
mm,
different. It's a different type of rejection if you 6, 9, 8 months down the road. But off the rip, you don't like me. I don't care.
mm. Okay. N- You said now we don't speak on kids.
Okay,
Is there a certain age range that is acceptable for you for a man to have kids?
that's big. Um, as of now, I don't want to date a man who has children that are toddlers. He can have grown children.
Okay.
My children are almost grown. And so I'm looking at different things and no problem to the dads out there doing their thing with their kids. I have no problem with that. I'm just at a point in my life where the type of man I need needs to be
Mm,
able to give me a lot of attention.
okay.
Yeah, I require that. I
Okay.
require. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are you able to reciprocate that same
Oh
attention
yeah.
and love and stuff?
Oh yeah. I'm not going to ask you for something that I can't give.
Okay.
So I'm very reciprocal of
Okay.
whatever it is if we're in a
Oh,
relationship.
there's nothing wrong with that. You said now, how long do you think? Well, first of all, you said, would you be open to marriage again?
Oh yeah.
To you, what would be a would be you said an adequate amount of time before that question should be asked?
Let's see. I'm almost 50.
Mm,
So I'd say for real, like within the first 2 years, it's still gonna be the same basic for me
mm,
that it was with my husband, my previous husband. Um, I think that 2 years is a good time to know somebody, see how they interact with their family. I think, and since I've experienced marriage and long-term relationship, I think that I have some insight this time going around what to look for, what not to look for. And I believe that my husband actually set a standard of how I'm
mm,
to be loved. And I think that becomes a problem on one end because I
mm,
have the man that I entertain needs to do X, Y, and Z. I need you to have your own things because I have my own things. I need you to be able to invest your time because I can invest my time. I need you to be able to, I need to know that if I'm fucked off in the game, that you're going to
mm.
come and help me because I'm going to offer you the same kind of assistance because that's how I've lived my life 20 years before I met you. You
Okay.
feel what I'm saying? And
Mm,
so um I I I meet people, we either hit it off or we don't. And some guys, we decided, we're better off as friends. Because sometimes
mm,
you meet somebody, and even though there might have been a romantic chemistry there, it just didn't click right. And you found
mm,
out that you were better off as friends.
mm.
Yeah, go see that girl. That bitch see you with me. She gonna think she gonna want you. Let me hook you up.
Right.
But you feel what I'm saying? Uh,
Oh
and
yeah.
and you can't find that out until you actually try to get to know someone.
Hmm. Okay. Now, with that being said, in your personal opinion,
Hmm.
what do you feel about women proposing to men? Because I keep seeing this on social media, and that's something else that makes my ass itch. But I'm just because I'm a traditional man.
Well, you know what? I have no problem with it.
Mm,
Um, And the reason I don't is because every relationship is unique. I
Mm,
can't hold somebody to my standard if they don't value that standard. That's a waste of my time, and
mm,
so I don't do that. I say if that's what works for them, then that's what works. And if a man accepts, let him. That's no different than a woman issuing an ultimatum in my book. If you don't marry me by such and such a time, I'm going to leave you alone. That's the same thing as her saying, "Will you marry me?" in my book, because she's saying, "Hey, we've been doing all this stuff together. We're acting like we're married. We might as well do it. So let me ask,
mm,
because maybe he was scared and didn't know that I was ready. Maybe he couldn't read the signs, and now
mm,
since you've put it on the table of what you're expecting from him, so it's
mm.
time, you know." So I don't have no problem with that because it can open up a conversation about what the future is going to look like.
Okay, and that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Because I can only speak from my perspective. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Which to this day, one of my favorite songs still to this day is Kendrick Lamar, "The Heart Part 5."
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful song, phenomenal video. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I haven't.
If Oh my God, Kendrick Lamar, "The Heart Part 5." It's gonna blow
Okay.
you away. You said I understand why that man has won a Pulitzer Prize for his writing,
Oh, I
but
know
you
he
know, what I'm
did.
saying, you said yeah. Now I enjoy having different conversations with different people, and you
Okay.
said picking people's brains and bouncing ideas and things like that. You said off of each other.
Okay.
Now you said with you being in politics, we're not kicking back in politics. We said we're getting
Right.
teaching mode because on my platform, what I try to do is I try to teach our children something. You said if I can.
Okay.
Now I was having you said a conversation yesterday with my 19-year-old daughter,
Hmm.
and she was telling me that I'm not popping because I don't have an iPhone. And she was like, she need to get you an iPhone. You're not doing it if you don't have an iPhone." I was like, "Do you have an iPhone?" She's like, "Yeah, I got an iPhone." I said, "Who's paying for it? Get the hell out of my face." You and she was like, "Well, why don't you like iPhones?" I was like, "Cause my Android takes better pictures than your stupid iPhone for one. I can do my show. Everything's all Google." You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't. If you have an iPhone, do you
I have
masturbation? I
both.
don't give a shit.
I've
Hey,
got
nothing wrong with it.
I've got a Samsung and an iPhone. I'm talking to you on my Samsung though.
But you said, like I said, it's like because she sits there and we'll have these conversations, and we'll get back to the teaching moment in a second. I'm
Hmm.
just kind of like running through my little comedy phase right now.
Hmm.
Well, comedy spit. She'll sit there and go, "Pops, you said like you can do FaceTime." I was like, "I don't like talking to you assholes when you're in my face. Fuck, I want to see you on the phone for."
I heard
You
that.
said, you was like, "Well, Pops, you can send all these crazy emojis." I'm 41 fucking years old. What the fuck do I look like sending emojis? Fuck out of here. And so I say that to say I was like I get where your generation's at. You know what I'm saying? It's like because me, I'm very simple. I'm very simplistic. You know what I'm saying? It's like my kids got on me for years talking about that I don't have Crocs. I don't like Crocs, but I'm a truck driver, and when we get fuel, we have a regular fuel card, and we
Hmm.
have you said the pilot card, or
Hmm.
you said the rewards card for the truck stop.
Hmm.
Well, the pilot truck stop happened to have these Croc looking shoes for $7.50,
Hmm.
and I had enough points to pay for them little Croc looking shoes. She- Pops, you said, "Pops, them ain't real Crocs." I was like, "Well, you got real Crocs, you got Jordans, you got these stupid ass Essentials hoodies or whatever the hell you. Don't worry about what the hell I got on. As long as you're good, don't worry about what the fuck I got on." Now, you said, in your platform, what is something that you try to do to redirect and guide you send the youth?
I think that really I try to empower the youth to make sure that they understand that your vote actually matters.
Mm,
Um, and that the real power is the power of the people. And so you try to find like minded folks and be vocal with your government about what you like, what you don't like. Your senators, your city council members, get involved. That is the
Mm,
only way that you're going to absolutely see change. I would love to see more um, women and men of color in politics because um, if you don't come into the kitchen, you're going to be on the menu. So you need to walk in there and
ooh.
find out what's being served because it could be you. So you get what I'm saying? You don't come up in the kitchen. We haven't been in politics um like we should have been. And that's how I really feel. And that
Mm,
is why we see the things that we see going on um
mm,
and the attacks that we see against people of color, against people
mm,
who have different sexual ideologies and ideologies is because we're sitting at a table instead of walking into the kitchen and saying, "Hey, let me add a
mm,
little this to that. Let me add that." So children, when you are 16 and 17, learn about the candidates, not just
mm,
the letter behind their name. Go and research what they're actually about. Look at their
mm,
track record. I have not yet been a politician, but you can definitely go to the legislation of Iowa and find my lobby record. Learn about lobbying. I've
mm,
helped co-author or author or champion 4 bills that have been passed into law in 2020. And so it works. Your
mm,
government is not broken. It's that you are being blind to the fact that you have power in this government. And so I want you to be empowered. I want you to understand that your vote counts and it is your voice. Please be sure that you're not letting them take your voice before you turn 18. We don't want no tag and release because not only when they tag and release you or you go to jail for doing dumb stuff, they want to
mm,
take away your vote, your right to defend yourself through your vote, as well as your personal body and your personal being. 2A. So
mm.
I am a supporter of 2A. But that is what I try to implore to young folks is to use your voice, get involved in politics. Don't be
Mm.
afraid of politics because if you do not get into politics, you will be served.
And it's like that wonderful answer, by the way. So beautiful, so beautiful.
Thank you.
But that's one thing I try to talk to my kids about too, because you know what I'm saying. Like they have everything at their fingertips. You know, what I'm saying now with these smartphones, and it's like, but you said it's like, but so many of them want to just follow the crowd, and I'm like, dude, stop. You have a smartphone. You said use it for something other than fucking TikTok. You said like
I do TikTok too.
me too, but obviously I do other things. So
Of
you know,
course.
you know what I'm saying? But like hell, using me personally, I do my own podcast. Actually just shot of intro for my boy Lex Vegas. He sent his podcast. Shout out to my brother, the Lex Vegas
Yeah,
show every Thursday night, 7 p.m. You send Lex
I
Vegas.
do.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's so many things that you can be out here doing. You said, but like I said, it's hilarious. You saying just like I said, because they have so much information at their fingertips, and it's almost like they're afraid to tap into that. And I feel because I totally agree with you because if we don't go in that kitchen, literally us as black people, I think we probably got to maybe 5 6 years before we politically extinct if we don't start getting involved now.
Facts. I really want, like I said, to implore to the young people. Don't just vote for someone because of what's behind their name. Don't
Mm,
just vote for someone because of the aesthetic that they have. Um, you really go and check out what their policies, even if you're a one issue voter, how you feel
mm,
about abortion or how you feel about taxes or whatever your issue is, go find out who's in the races locally because see the real people who make the law are your congress and your
mm,
state assemblies and your state houses. Those are the people who make the laws. Your president or your governor has the right to veto something or not take it, but that's who makes the law.
Okay.
You really want change? Write the law.
Okay. Now, I said I want to stay away from politics, but I
Yeah.
just want to ask
Anyway,
one more question. I just want to ask
sure.
one more question as far as that goes. Okay, there is a. I don't know if you've heard of the mayor of Dalton, Illinois,
Maybe.
Tiffany Henyard.
Mm-mm.
Okay, when she came into office, she was basically just given the seat as mayor, but she's also the supervisor of Thornton Township in Illinois as well.
Mm-hmm.
You, when she came in, you saying the town was up $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because she's been recklessly spending, you said like this woman literally spent $40,000 on Amazon in one day.
Doing what?
Yeah, they're investigating it now. But literally, for the 2 years she's been in there, they're now $7 million in the hole.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Would lobbying, you said, be a way to put more guardrails on rogue mayors and stuff like that, or is it?
I mean, you could lobby for better penalties from public officials. You could lobby for um, the laws to be actually enforced. You can also go to the proper authorities, like your judges, who are supposed to be the checks and balances of the executive branches, because we know there's three branches, right?
Mhm,
And so there are checks and balances. You can actually write letters, and in some states, in some cities, you could ask for a recall of that person, or you
mhm,
can say that the you've lost confidence in their ability to lead. And so, there's some of those like loss of confidence. I think California used to have them. So it kind of just depends on where you live. And if your city doesn't have that, or your state doesn't have that, contact your legislator and ask them about writing and sponsoring bills that go towards what you believe is right. But many
mhm,
times the laws are already on the books and they're not being enforced because of X, Y, and Z. So you need to find out why they're not being enforced in the first place. And then if there are other remedies, maybe that this mayor doesn't know what is actually supposed to be expenses. Let's get real.
mhm,
Because, okay,
mhm,
I love to give people some grace. Maybe she doesn't really know that this is not how that budgeting actually works, and
mhm,
that these are things that shouldn't have been spent on. Maybe she doesn't understand those things, because she's probably new, never been in this, if this kind of was handed to her. So I'm going to give grace there and say, ignorance is a thing too. We've seen
mhm,
plenty of ignorant politicians to the process of being a politician.
mhm,
And so, I'm going to withhold my comment and
mhm,
give grace where because I don't know about the situation, and play that advocate of, what, some people don't absolutely know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate in the government setting, and because they've seen examples of these overspending or unnecessary spending, um, or it's something that they need, but they bought the super best of it. I think
mhm.
that also goes to play back to the people who have previously been in government and have shown that this was acceptable behavior. So then you have to ask, is she following the behavior of her predecessors?
Mhm.
And so that's why I'm saying I'll reserve judgment, but I hadn't heard about it. But if that's kind of how it is, I would want to know.
Okay, and see, this is exactly why I do not tell anybody about using what we're going to talk about, because I don't want to get scripted answers.
Right.
That was the most beautiful answer I think you could have given. You said it did not seem scripted. It did not seem fake. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. You said, because like so many people, because I had you said Miss Katrina Robinson. She's the mayor of Haiti, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're giving me the same kind of vibes. You said me and her are like this and have been for
Okay.
years. And so I send her these stories, and of course we'll bounce ideas and stuff off each other, and stuff like that. I can definitely tell after this conversation we will be having those conversations later on. I can tell you that now. It's very refreshing to have conversations with, especially some people that are in higher, using that are in a different lane that I am. That definitely because that definitely can using vibe on a certain wavelength and definitely have an IQ above room temperature. So I appreciate you for that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Definitely.
That's what's up.
You said now. You said now. Right now, let's say you met a guy. He's everything to you, and he said, "Babe, checkbook's open." You said, "I didn't say blah 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 blah. This that and third. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. Where are you going?"
Baby, we going to the bank so you can buy me another property. I
Okay.
don't I don't need you to waste your money. I need something that keeps on giving because I'm at the age where I'm legacy building myself.
Mm,
So um I want to be able to retire and take those
mm,
trips and still be earning money. So if you got enough money to take me where I want to go, then I know that you have enough money to buy me a eightplex or a duplex or a quad, and we can get that bread like that. That's
mm,
kind of where I'm at. And anybody else that, and I meet people, some people are just gonna, they just good for one thing, whether it's their company, whether it's, physicalities, whatever it is, you got to place people where they belong. But if I'm with this guy and he's like, baby, I can save this money and I can do it, I'm like, let's invest it. I need a
mm,
return on my investment. I need to be able to see where my money's going. And also, that creates stability for my
mm.
kids. That creates stability for any type of relationship that I would want to have with someone.
Okay. Well, that's what's up. We got a few more minutes before we get up out of here. Now, you said investing. You said my
Mhm.
16-year-old daughter just started her first job. You said the other
Okay.
day. You
Hmm.
saying I'm telling her that you saying it. Make sure you don't spend all your money. We know you like your
Hmm.
lashes and you send your lace fronts and all that other goofy shit. You saying whatever you say, but you need to take a certain amount and put certain amount away each time you get paid. Now
Hmm.
I'm pops, so she don't listen to pops.
Hmm.
Now you as a woman, how would you instruct a 16-year-old with her first job to invest in what maybe she could invest in?
How about this? When she can't do it herself, that's where you step in and do it for her. And
Mm,
what I mean is, I implemented for my kids that they were responsible, obviously, for their own bills. And then um, I did it with them. So it was, okay, let's open the savings account. And we're going to go in here. And when you work, you automatically take and have them put $50 in every paycheck,
mm,
and you leave that money alone, like get a separate little cash app card or something, and have them send that before you ever see it. Have them sip
mm,
off what it could be, $25, it could be $10, but whatever the amount is, it needs to go into the savings. And that's what you call the keeping you pretty fund. Um, that means, and like I said, as a parent, I opened up accounts with my kids. Um,
mm,
as their parent, I put one of my kids on my mortgage. As the parent, I put another kid on bank accounts. And then when they began to turn 18, they had established credit. And so I think it kind of really goes to, young lady, if you want to retire early, take $25 every paycheck and put it away. Invest in a whole life insurance policy if you can,
mm,
and use that as your bank. If you know anything about whole life policies, then you know
mm,
that they have a lot of good benefits. Invest in a business, those things that you love very much. If that's a hobby, do it.
mm.
Whether it's skincare, hair care, nails, lip gloss, all of those can be easy businesses that you can get in. And you can work that job to you're working the job to fund your own business. Stop going to work to fund other people's dreams. go to work to fund your business. Yep, I work for myself. I have a mediation and a consulting business, but I work a
Mhm.
side gig for somebody else's business so that I can make sure that I'm funding my business. And when my
Mhm.
business gets to the level that I need it to get to, then I can let that side gig go because now my baby is working. So when you're working, don't be working to build someone else's dream. Be working to build your dream. And if you're 16 years old, baby, you got a lot of time. $25 every paycheck that you get, every paycheck, and don't even think about it anymore. And you'll see after 5 years that that's gonna just double, 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 double. Find a good CD, find a good investment, or like I said, invest in your business, and you can see where your money is going. Don't be buying frivolous stuff. It's not what you buy; it's how it looks on you, how it feels to you. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to keep up with
Absolutely.
the Joneses. Be the Jones. Anyway,
I know that's right. Thank you for that. You said now before we get up out of here, you said tell the people how they can get in contact with you, not just for dating, but I want you to plug. You said
you can
everything.
find me at facebook.com/ Toya for Iowa, TOYA, the number 4, IOWA. Um, Hit me up there for political stuff. If you are looking for my actual profile, you can find me as Barbie Johnson on Facebook, or the real Shandea on Instagram. And I generally accept friend requests. But if you get to acting out of pocket, I'll cut you loose. I don't block people because I want you to see all of this every day.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
I'm my ego's too much to be blocking folks, baby. You're gonna get this work. Um,
I
but
know
other
that's
than
right.
But other than that, I'd love to see you at my Facebook page, ToyA for Iowa, and that's the special. My name is ToyA, not Toya. But I let people call me Toya because I don't feel like arguing about it. But
Well, that
if I
you said
make you call me Toya,
okay, Miss Toy. Yeah, you said I appreciate the correction. There's nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing wrong with that.
But thanks,
You
guys.
said
Go ahead.
okay. I think you guys, you said, have been in for a definite treat tonight, Miss Toye. You said I've enjoyed this conversation. It's fun. It's been bubbly. It's been. You said we've covered so many different facets of everything that we could have talked about,
All
and
right.
it's like, dude, I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell my audience right now that God Dub Show. I think we've just developed a friend in Miss Toye right here. She will be
Hey,
back. I ain't
back.
even gonna cap. I ain't gonna
I'm
cap you
coming
now.
back. I'm gonna have my ponytail there next time.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you don't miss another video. Now, without further ado, I love you. Miss Toye loves you. We out of here, man. Peace.
Bye.
The boy Dub Deuce in the building.